Materials are super, super important. Now this says it's worth 50 points, 0 points, but we all know that's not true. There we go. So make sure you put your name and your hour, and here's the directions. You are the teacher, and the judges and I are your students. See a theme? How can we perform an experiment if we don't know how much of something we need? If I am baking a cake and you tell me salt and sugar, I may put in more salt than sugar. Gross. Please always list the quantities after each item. We must use SI units, okay? We don't use cups. We don't use pounds. Please answer the following question. When answering questions, please use a bullet format like this one. No numbers or letters allowed. So, all you have to do, again, answer the questions. What will you be writing with? You'll be writing with a pencil. Second question. What will you be using to record your data or write down notes? Are you using a composition notebook? Are you using Google Notes? Are you using a binder with paper sheets? Write it down. What are you using to keep all of your notes? Remember, are you doing the Dear Diary? We talked about it. If you haven't been doing the Dear Diary, go back and take a look at the science fair. If you go back to Google Classroom, under Science Fair, click on Dear Diary, and it tells you exactly what you need to be doing, etc. So if you've forgotten what that is, or you were absent that day and didn't keep up on Google Classroom, you need to go back and take a look at this page. Next, what safety equipment are you going to need? If you're going to be working around heat, do you need to keep your hair pulled back? So you'll need a hair tie. Do you need to wear a special apron like welders do? Do you need to wear goggles? Do you need to wear a hard hat? How about gloves? What kind of safety equipment do you need? If you're working with chemicals, do you need a fume hood? Number 4, what equipment or tools will you need? So here we have for number 4, I just went ahead and put some things. Equipment. Pipette, that's like an eyedropper, I need 6 of them. A test tube rack, test tube, I need 6 of them. A stir rod, a scrub brush, a ruler that's SI unit. You have to be specific because not all rulers are created equal. Now before we go on to number 5, notice that I wrote pencil, composition book, equipment for safety, fume hood, splash goggles, nitrile gloves, ponytail. Now, I'm sure I don't have everything listed. I'm just kind of making it up out of my head. So the last question says, what materials will you need? You must list all and the exact quantity of each item. So let's say I'm testing different oils. So which one's correct? A or B? They both say peanut oil. This one is incorrect. Why? Because it's not specific, and if it's not specific, we don't use it. This one's telling us the amount, so the material I need plus the exact amount. So if I'm going to have dirty dishes, clearly I have some here, some glassware, what am I going to need to do later? I'm going to need to clean up, so I'm going to need soap. So list all of the materials that you'll be needing here. If you're testing plants, you'll say radish plants. How many do you need? I need 6 of them. What if you need soil? How much soil do you need? What kind of soil do you need? Do you need Lowe's? Do you need the kind from your backyard? I mean, what do you need? I don't know. You have to tell me. And if you're testing soils, then you should have soil listed multiple times. You should have soil listed backyard, okay, and the amount you need. So it would actually look like this. Backyard soil, and then you would list the amount here that you need. You would list the type of soil from wherever or whatever type, and again, the amount. So you would list that there. Now, won't these plants need a pot? Well, that's not material, kids. That's equipment. So then that would go here. Planting pots, how many do you need? Let's go with 6. Okay, so very, very, very super specific. So once you have all of that done, Then you can go through just like on the background, and you're going to delete my questions because you don't need them anymore. Those can all go away. Bye. Going away. So as you can see, all I have left is the title of the page, how many points it's worth, my name and hour, and then here I have my list of things. So there's one thing we have left to do. We need to put our cursor here and hit the backspace button until my pencil, until my pencil ends up where it needs to be. So click here, backspace twice, click here, backspace, backspace, until it comes over to the proper side of the margin. So now that I've backspaced through the formatting that was up there, let me put my name here so you can see it. And I'm in all the hours. Okay, so now I can take my cursor, I can highlight all of these things, and I can come up and I can click which bullet point I want. It doesn't matter. To be professional, I would stick with this one, or this one. I kind of like this one. So there you go. And then I'm done. Boom. I'm done. Now let me show you what's going to happen in a couple of months when it's time for science fair. I'm getting ahead of myself. Once you do this, and it's in bullet form, and you've answered all those questions, then turn it in. Now, in about a month and a half or so, before we go to actually be in science fair, and it's time to print out all of our things and put them on our board, you're going to come up to File, and you're going to go to Page Setup, and you're going to change it to a landscape. So now it's going from left to right. Then, okay, so now you can see it in landscape. So the judges don't need to see all this. So we're going to take that away. Okay? And I'm going to pull this up right here, and I'm going to write materials. And I'm going to center that on my page because it looks nice. And I think I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. There we go. And here I have all my materials. Now, I wouldn't suggest doing it like that because, look, that looks really, really bad. But something you can do is you can come up to Format, and you can select columns, and you can select 2 columns, or you can select 3 columns. And because people are reading things on my board, I want to make it to where they can see it really, really well. And I think I'm going to bold it and underline it. That looks nice. And then look at that. Won't that look really nice on my board? It'll look very nice on my board. Another thing you can do is you can come up here and you can highlight again, and you can see, do I like it better with the 3 column? I really don't. So I'm going to come back and do 2 columns. And then there you go. It's done. And then you print it off. Oh, I have a couple that hung over. I'll need to fix that. So let me change my size. So let's go to 30. That didn't fix it. So let's go to 28. Didn't fix it. 25. And it fixed it. So there you go. I hope that you can see now that all of these little assignments are actually making the final process for science fair a breeze. You have literally since December been doing all of your board stuff. All you'll have to do is exit out the name, exit out the title, fix the bullet points, and maybe make the font a little bit different, rearrange which way it's going. Is it going from left to right? In horizontal mode, or are you going to do back to portrait, top to bottom? That's all you have to do. That's it. That's why I'm doing all the work with you ahead of time, so it makes this part so much easier. Just think, in the end, that beautiful thing you got used to look like this. So just follow the steps that I give you with one foot in front of the other, and you'll be fine.